Oh my god, internet. It is not the 13th. I gotta change the time. I gotta change the date. The one thing I didn't do, I'm C Parks. This is the Park Bench, episode 34. K is still missing in action. They're still flying around the world. Last week, they were in Hawaii. This week during the show, they're now in the Philippines. And then they'll make their way over to Japan. Oh man, let's change his time. It's not the 13th anymore, it's the 20th. But yeah, this is a smaller show today. Just less that I'm prepared to talk about. I have some like little topics I'm building for when there is like not as much how do I put it, like news out there, or news that I care about in video games. So it'll be quicker. We'll go over the Gamedle together again at the end. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get rid of K because K got rid of us. Just kidding. Games I've been playing in the last week. Honestly, the Bazaar. The Bazaar is like so back right now. we're so back in on the Bazaar. I'm still looking for this file because I'm so like scatterbrained. What is this show called? Park Bench? So back in on the Bazaar. I'm playing it. My wife is playing it. I find myself playing it more on her account. Because typically what happens is she'll be playing, and then I'll get home from work, and then she'll be like, "Oh look, I'm doing so well." And I'll be like, "Oh nice." And then like the run will end, and we'll start a new round, and she'll be like, "Here, let's do this together." Or I get home, and she's like, "I'm doing terrible. Fix this for me," and then I take over. And then sometimes I play on my account. My account level is really low, and hers is really high because of this. There we go. The date's gonna change. Thank you. But yeah, I'm still loving the Bazaar. The Bazaar is, if it was on mobile, I'd be playing probably a little bit more, but it is at least on my Steam Deck. So like, if I'm not sitting at my computer, she has her laptop that she's playing on, and then maybe if she's doing something somewhere and I'm hanging out not at my computer, I can just bring my Steam Deck around, play that. I also tried playing more Sonic Rumble on my phone. And it worked. It ran great. It ran fine, which was the issue that I had. Like, before the game released, I was playing it through an emulator on the computer, and round one in Sonic Rumble, and for anyone who doesn't know, Sonic Rumble is, think of it as like Fall Guys, but Sonic. It's like a Sonic Battle Royale game through rounds. First round is like some sort of like, typically anyway, it's like a race. You're getting rings. You are finishing the race. If you finish first, whatever, you get more bonus rings. And then the bottom, like, X amount of people are eliminated. Everyone else moves on to the second round. It's a new little mini game. And then the third round is the final game. It's only 3 rounds. It's quick. And previously on the emulator, that first round with like, I think it's 32 people, chugged. Um, it didn't feel good. And like the way that the game felt at that time with like its movement and its running and jumping already felt a little weird. There was something off about the way a character controlled in that game, or it felt. And with the added like lag and input lag and stuff, round one always felt bad. And then it got better. I think it goes like 32, 16, 8. When it got to 16, it was fine. But the couple of games I've played on my phone since it's like fully launched, I haven't had any like issues like that. Thankfully. Thankfully. But that's about it. That's all I've really been playing in the last like week that I can think of, at least. Nothing else. Like I opened Pokemon Go for the first time in forever. But yeah, it's mostly like the Bazaar. We're so back on the Bazaar, which I found out I did it like right at the time where I guess the Bazaar is at its peak. Like people are saying like its balance and everything is the best it's ever been. It's in a good spot there. Um like semi recent new character addition, and the player base is like at its all-time high. Like they recently had like its most concurrent um number of players online since at least going to Steam. During beta when it was just on Temple Launcher, I don't know if those numbers are out there, but since launching on Steam and like its full release, like during the last like week or two has been like the most people that have ever played. And so that's cool. Because I was afraid that like maybe the game wasn't doing well and it was gonna like die, because the team that made it is Tempo, run by former Hearthstone card game content creator Reynad. Uh, so it's like not a ton of like money behind it. It's a small team. They did esports for a bit and now they've pivoted to this. I think technically they still have like some esports players under contract, like Axe, who plays Super Smash Bros. Melee. But yeah, I was really worried for that company and for the game, but it seems like it's doing okay. So that's exciting. Um, today though, we're going to talk about some stuff quickly. That's not at all what we're talking about. Not at all what we're talking about. That's not the list. We're talking about I'll do it. We're going to talk about Masters of Albion. It is the new game coming out from Peter Molyneux. If you don't know who Peter Molyneux is, the best way to like introduce him to people, he's the guy who made Fable. He's made other games, like another big one is Black and White, which is like an older PC game, but Fable is the one where I think the most people would be like, oh yeah, I know what Fable is, at least. So yeah, he's that guy. He's also crazy. um there we go. So he's kind of known for just like saying wild things about the games he's making and like super embellishing or like over hyping or just like seemingly just like straight up making up stuff about the game that they're making. I think part of the reason why he's made some like good and popular games is because his aspirations and like his ideas are so high. He has such big ideas. And then I think what has mostly held back a lot of those ideas throughout his career has been probably money and time that it makes to make this stuff happen. And then just like hardware limitations, you know. It's difficult to make a game with a large team quick enough and not spend a ton of money. And I think that's what he's been really lacking. But he's also, I don't know, he's crazy. So that had a release date trailer. We'll look at that briefly. Checking on Highguard, see if there's an update on that, because that game is out in 6 days. So we'll see if there's any updates on Highguard. They got, it's at the Game Awards, and I haven't heard anything since. It's been like 5 weeks. And then we'll talk briefly about the Xbox Developer Direct, which is in 2 days, the 22nd. It's got some interesting games. We'll talk about it more, but I usually enjoy these developer directs. But for now, we're gonna start. We're gonna talk about Masters of Albion, and I'll bring up this trailer here. Which one do I want? Do I want this? Missing in Action K? Yeah, why not? Okay, there, Cam. Boop. Masters of Albion. So, again, this is the game by Peter Molyneux. This is the release date trailer. And there's something about this trailer that I look at and just think it looks fake. It looks like a fake video game advertisement to like a whole new level almost. Like there's a lot of those like download our game, and it's like they show this like gameplay loop of like things happening, and like the player controlling stuff and making decisions or stuff like that, but it's all fake. And then like you get into the game and it's just like a very simple like Bejeweled like puzzle game or something like that, Candy Crush kind of thing. And a lot of this gameplay here kind of reminds me of that. Something about like the way it looks, the lighting on things, the way things move, the like hand cursor that gets used, like the like build the way like putting these buildings together and dragging and dropping people, it just doesn't look real. It just doesn't look real to me. And like presumably it is. But with Peter Molyneux, you never know. A lot of this might not be what the game actually like plays like. It might not be the UI. You might not have a hand that moves around like that. It is a God game. So like some of the visuals I'm seeing like make sense with this hand and like picking stuff up and throwing it. Like it seems logical. It just looks weird. This is some of the stuff that Peter Molyneux has always had like a hand in, is like these like God game aspects. And like there's even parts of it in Fable. Because like with like these like God games, as they're called, where like a world is happening and you're kind of like shaping things around it, but the people are still like doing their thing. They're still living their lives, and you just kind of like are doing things that influence their decisions and what they can do, or like, what's in the town, what buildings you place there, how you handle like disasters shapes like the future of the city. And is entirely in-game footage, it says. It says it's entirely in-game footage. That's crazy. Fable had some of that, right? Fable had some of this like hello. Hold on, let's go back to the title. Bam. This is very bright. Fable had some of this like God game elements to it. It is an action RPG, right? But it does take some of those like Molyneux concepts of like trying to influence the world, good decisions, bad decisions. There are people in the world who just are seemingly doing their own thing, living their life, which is like isn't a new concept, but like back when Fable came out, it was like a newer idea of like this like living world. Um Also Fable had that like that sense of humor that's in Fable is Peter Molyneux. And you can kind of see it in this trailer, like at the very end here. You see the guy like what he like this guy, he kicks a chicken. And I think he says some quote. But like um yeah, we'll stop here. But yeah, like Peter Molyneux, like it like when you see a game by Peter Molyneux, there's like very specific elements that are always in it. Um and so like I think he's tried to make some other games since Fable um haven't worked out. He worked on um that like AI talking child, like I forget its name, Elio or something like that, that Xbox tried to do. Um and that like demo at E3 was like insane and crazy. Um but actually let's bring it up. So like to give you an idea of Peter Molyneux. First of all, they're not doing it anymore, but there was a thing called the Molly Jam. It was a game jam. A game jam is basically a competition where people make a game in a set amount of time. A lot of them are like 24 to 48 hours or something like that, 72 hours. So it'll typically be, like we'll say, a 24-hour competition where you make a game. And everyone in the competition is making a game based on the same theme. And Molly Jam was Peter Molyneux inspired game jam. And the second one, the theme was solely based off of quotes from him because he says wild stuff in interviews. So here's some of them. The whole of your body, except for your private parts, can be scarred. You are clothed most of the time, but not in front of your wife, and not when you swim either. Don't forget, it's the emotion of being scarred. It's the emotion of being scarred. I still have nightmares about holding German sausages over my head. If you love your dog, we're going to mess with your mind, man. You're not going to be able to go to bed. Will the first female nudity give you a success, or will it turn off the audience? You can eliminate starvation, or you can double it. You can empty the treasury or fill it with gold and rub it all over your body. When you're doing it in multiplayer, it feels incredible. I love that. And like some of these quotes, you can see a little bit of like what he says versus what's reality, but actually what he wants. Like this one here. You can empty the treasury or fill it with gold and rub it all over your body. I am not sure what game he's talking about in any of these. I can guarantee that he wanted to implement like an animation or an action in this game where you could like Scrooge McDuck swim in some gold and rub it all over your body. And when he said this, that might not even been a thing in the game, and it might never have. Because that's what he does. He says stuff, and then it doesn't happen quite the way he thinks, or is like as grand as he thinks it is. So good morning to my favorite co-host and everyone else from the Philippines. There's Kay. There's the co-host that's been missing, who's now in the Philippines. We're just talking about Peter Molyneux a little bit, Masters of Albion, showing some wild quotes from this madman. Um, but yeah, Masters of Albion. I didn't even see. I don't remember a God game. Which this is also coming April 22nd. Um, Part of the pitch. It's 5:22 a.m. Oh, your poor body. Or nice. That's actually probably great. It's healthy to be up early and go to bed early. um, Part of the pitch for this Masters of Albion game. First of all, it's Peter Molyneux's last game, so he says. But this right here, a God game. They're really pushing like, hey, this is remember God games. They don't make them anymore, but we're doing it, and it's me, Peter Molyneux, doing it. um, Can't wait to see Peter finally make the game of his dreams that will definitely do everything he says. See, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm excited. April 22nd can't come soon enough. Honestly, even before that, like I'm sure we'll see more of this game. People will play it and people will be like, wow, that sure is Peter Molyneux game that is underwhelming. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's amazing, but we'll see. Um I have low I have two things I'll say. I I have a low bar or I have low standards for this game. I don't think it'll be great. I also have I don't know how to say this. I, I somehow doubt that this is Peter Molyneux's last game. I feel like he's saying it is because he believes it partially. Uh, and then if there is any little bit of success with this game, there's going to be a point where he says to himself, well, you know what? I got some money now again from some success from this game, and there's some things that I didn't get to do with it. So now we're gonna make another game because like I I really wanted this one to be my last one with everything I ever dreamt of, but like we just didn't have the time and money. So like next one, that's my last one is my game, the game of my dreams. We're doing it. Um Also this dude just loves Albion, apparently. Can't get away from that. Um yeah, so that's Masters of Albion. Next up. High guard update? Question mark? No, it didn't. No, I didn't put the question mark. That's funny. Um, as we've talked about before, and I've talked about before, um, High Guard. The one final thing of his or the one final thing of the Game Awards, right? Um, it was not a good last showing, says the internet. The internet hated that it was the one last thing. They didn't think it was deserving of it. I think that game in the middle of the show is fine. We've said it all before. Um, that was 5 weeks ago. The game launches on January 26th. And like if we go here to their Twitter page, nope, no update. January 26th it launches. That's in 6 days. Less than a week away from presumably being able to play this. But still nothing. And you know, maybe it's just me, but I keep seeing people on my Twitter feed talking about High Guard, and how like there's still no updates for it. That's crazy. How is this game coming out in a week and we still haven't seen anything since the reveal trailer? And then people arguing like, well, it's so simple as like they're gonna have like a big event the day of, and you're gonna learn everything about it, and then the game's gonna launch just like Apex did. Because Apex, when that game launched, it was a surprise. Uh, and they announced it, and then they launched it same day, you know, and it was a huge surprise to everybody, and it's a success, huge success. A bunch of people making this game were part of that team. Um, so maybe they saw something with how that worked, and they thought, we can do this, but let's just have this one teaser. Apex didn't have any teaser leading up to it. Let's just have this one trailer where we give the players a quick look, and then we just keep them in the dark. And I don't think it's working. I feel like there'd be more people talking about the game if they just showed it, but maybe that's not how they think. Maybe they're not ready for it. I don't know. But 6 days, we get this. A bit of news that has like come out for this game, and it's like, and it's like reveal at the Game Awards, was that yes, this company obviously paid for their trailer at the Game Awards. They paid for a slot at the Game Awards, right? Um, they did not pay for this final reveal slot. That decision was made by Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards. Apparently Jeff Keighley loved what he saw so much from such a high pedigreed team. Jeff Keighley decided that this was going to be the one final thing. I think there were obviously a number of games that maybe would have been better suited here. First one that comes to my mind is the uh the new KOTOR. What's it called? FOTOR, Fate of the Old Republic. Um, that that probably would have went a lot harder than a new IP for a shooty game, for a first-person shooty game. But yeah, it's interesting to me. I'm curious now how often with the Game Awards that's the case, where they just have people like basically buy into the show, and then Jeff Keighley completely builds it on his own. Versus how many people are like, we want to open the show, like they buy the slot to open the show with, or to close the show, or before or after this award or whatever. Like I wonder how much of that has happened in the Game Awards versus just like, yeah, Jeff Keighley just being like, I'm gonna put this here and this. Thanks for all your trailers. I'm gonna put this here, this here, this here, and just does it on his own. I imagine if that's how it's always worked, it will not work that way next year. Or if it still does, there will be much more consideration into, well, specifically at least what the final game that they reveal is. Because High Guard getting the one final thing. As it looks right now, looks like it was the worst thing to happen to this game. Um, I think you'd still get some of the same conversations had this been like in the middle of the show somewhere. I guarantee you still get the most annoying people you know comparing this to Conquered, like people want to do with any new first person game, first person multiplayer game. Is they're like, oh, it's Conquered 2, it's the next Conquered, because it's a first person game that I think is not going to have a good enough player base and it's going to die off in 2 months. I still think you get that, but it's not as loud. I'm curious if it's not last. Are there still as many people who care that they haven't revealed anything since the show 5 weeks ago? That story alone, outside of it being the final game, this story of like revealing your game, setting a release date, and then saying nothing for 5 weeks, and like less than a week leading up, still not saying anything. That itself might still have built up its own story, but I don't think it would have been like as big a deal. And unfortunately, I still don't think it's like that big of a deal. I just find it interesting. So it's here. That's what I'm talking about. And that's it. That's it for Highguard. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna quickly, and I'm hiding my screen because who knows what's on this website. I'm gonna quickly search Highguard again. We got Highguard Japan. You can look at them. Most of the stuff I see right here, looking up Highguard, is just like the top things have been like Dexerto. Highguard is set to release in 1 week on January 26th. They have not posted online since the game's reveal. Highguard really just showed up. Everyone hated it and immediately started praying for its downfall. LMAO. Oh yeah, actually, uh, the Game Awards Twitter account has actually tweeted out a Highguard update, I guess, which was just, it was yesterday, and it said just 1 week until the release of Play Highguard. So literally the Game Awards has done more marketing than Play Highguard has. Unless Highguard paid the Game Awards to tweet that out, but like why wouldn't you just do it yourself? Or why wouldn't you also tweet it out? I like this one quote tweet where it's the Game Awards just 1 week until the release of Play Highguard, and somebody tweeted it and said, "Does Highguard know that?" Which is funny. So yeah, that's about it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. I have seen. I think Jeff really wants to be the reason a game explodes. Peak/Clay Obscure. Um, I think you. I think you could be onto something there. I do think Jeff Keighley loves the idea of being at the beginning of an explosion. You know, he likes the idea of setting the fuse almost, right? That could be it. Um that could be it. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen like a couple people say like I played Highguard and it's ass, but I can't trust that. Um I can't trust that that's like real. There have been rumors that like there is going to be some sort of like streamer event that happens Um, but like, if there is, that's not a surprise. Like that's almost like expected from games now. Um, yeah, I don't know. What day is the 6th? 26th, I mean. Next Monday. So I can't wait to finally 1 week from today talk about the actual release of Highguard. Because god damn it, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play that game. And then yeah, last thing for games that will do marketing and that we will see stuff for is the Xbox Developer Direct. Um, this one focusing on what appears to just be 3 games, 2 by Playground Games, 1 by Game Freak. We're gonna see Fable, which is exciting. Forza Horizon 6 and Beast of Reincarnation gameplay. For a group of 3 games where one of them I really don't care all that much about, being Forza Horizon 6. It's one of those games where I'm like, I hope they keep coming out with Forzas, but I'm not going to play them. I have played them and they're fine. I don't know what they would have to do to get me back in. It would not be Forza anymore, I think. But yeah, for a third of the show being something where I'm like, I'm just gonna look at pretty graphics. Uh, did the Life of is Strange announcement happen before you went live? I don't know. I didn't see anything about it. Um, Life is Strange. I shouldn't be looking this up like this. 4 hours ago, Life is Strange reunion will finally reunite Max and Chloe. So yes, it does seem like it happened before we went live. I'll get to that. Maybe. I don't know much about it. You can say it in the comments. I haven't played much Life is Strange. I like it for what it is. A new game, Life is Strange Reunion, seeks to answer that by reuniting Max and Chloe for one last time-bending adventure. Yeah, I haven't gotten into these games, so I can't comment too much on it other than like, cool. I don't know how it's been since like Life is Strange games were like first out, but one of my thoughts, kind of similar to Telltale games back in the day, was like I wish the engine was updated a little more. There was always something about them that like seemed like janky, not to the same degree as like a Telltale game, but yeah, they always like looked like something like in motion where I was like, I wish this looked a little better. But yeah, Developer Direct. A whole third of this show I don't really care about, but the other 2 things are very interesting to me. Um, Firstly, we will get Fable. Uh, created by that Peter Molyneux guy. Masters of Albion. Well, this is a different Albion that he also created. uh, Playground Games welcomes players back to the fairy tale land of Albion with the first in-depth look at Fable, which we've desperately needed. The game's been announced for years. We've seen like what 2 things about this. And with like Xbox's track record and like how it canceled that Perfect Dark game after it announced it, I was starting to get worried that this game was never going to come out, was never going to launch. So the fact that it's not just like a trailer we're not just getting like an announcement thing. We're not getting like a pre-rendered like sneak peek. It's part of the developer direct. So the thing's real. It's happening. Because they're gonna do like a little deep dive in this. It's one of 2026's most anticipated titles. Devs from the Playground team will unveil the magic and mischief that awaits players in this fresh new beginning for the franchise, including a first look at some stunning new gameplay. Of course, the core themes of Fable will all be there: choice, consequence, drama, action, British humor, and of course, chickens. Again, that's Peter Molyneux's DNA. You saw it in the Masters of Albion trailer without the sound. You put the sound on, you'll see and notice more of the British humor. And again, at the end, you saw the chicken. It's whatever reason, Peter Molyneux loves chickens. All reimagined for existing fans and new players alike. My history with Fable, this is the best thing that could possibly happen to Fable in my eyes, is like seemingly a fresh start, but still trying to be like recognizable as Fable, right? I played the first Fable on Xbox. I was very excited for Fable. I don't remember why. I don't remember why I was ever excited for games when I was younger. But I was pumped for the game, and then it released. First day I got it, I played the heck out of the game. Played the heck out of the game, was loving it. I was super into it, blasting through the game. Day 2, same thing. Absolutely loved it. Was having an amazing time. Beat a boss, and then the game ended. And I was so disappointed that it was over. And like, part of me looking back, I was like, was I just upset because I was sad that the game was over because I didn't have more to play? Or was it like a true disappointment? And like, when it happened, I was like very, very upset with the game. I tried to go back in, because at the end of that game, you have like 2 decisions to make, like the final decisions. And like, from what I remember, one of them lets you keep playing the game, but like there's not really a whole lot to do. And then the other one just ends it. There's like it just, you make that decision and the game's just over. That's it. And yeah, that hurt me. I forget how long I played. I like, for some reason the number 15 comes into my brain, where it was like 15 hours or something. Which was just like, whatever it was not enough time for me, and it like, very upset. I really thought that there was going to be more to it after this boss fight, and it like it like really put this like cloud over Fable forever for me. Because then Fable 2 came out, Fable 3 came out, and people loved those games. I specifically remember people like really loving Fable 2. And then also like really liking Fable 3 when that came out. And I refused to touch it. And I have always been like, no, screw that game. Fable hurt me too deep. I can't get into it. But I'm rooting for it now. I'm rooting for this new Fable. Partially for like the studio's sake, Playground. But you know, it has a chance for a fresh start with its franchise and with my heart, you know. So I'm really rooting for that. Then the other game, Playground, has Forza, deep dive on the much anticipated Forza Horizon 6. Open world racer takes place to the beautiful and contrasting landscapes of Japan. Deep dive and a first look at gameplay, reveals and new trailers. So we're basically just going to see, hey, look how pretty these cars are. Hey, look at how pretty these sponsored cars are. Whoa. Did you notice how pretty Japan is? Pretty cool. Hey, we have real racetracks from Japan. Also, the roads, identical to Japan. This is literally roads in Japan that you can drive on. And look at how pretty it is. That's gonna be the whole thing for the most part. Other than maybe here's how you do multiplayer competitions. And here's some sort of progression and ranks or whatever. And then lastly, Beast of Reincarnation. And from the looks of this, like the way it's listed out here on the Xbox website, the way that it looks on this promo image, I think Beast of Reincarnation is the last game that they're going to show. Join us as we delve into Game Freak's intense one-person, one-dog action RPG. For the first time, Game Freak will reveal details of our protagonist Emma's innovative plant manipulation actions and gameplay with her canine companion, Ku. In Beast of Reincarnation, a profound and dangerous world unfolds in post-apocalyptic Japan. Discover the development secrets behind its creation in Developer Direct. So yeah, it seems like another Game Freak game where a human is controlling some sort of animal companion to fight. That's what it sounds like, just like Pokemon. So this is basically Pokemon. You can probably just play Legends ZA and you'll get the same experience as this game. But no, let's get the Beast of Reincarnation Game Freak. We'll just go to Steam. We'll get this trailer up running. Because I mentioned Pokemon, and one of the big things that I see with this is hey, when did Game Freak learn to make good graphics? Because as you can immediately tell, the textures in this game look a hell of a lot better than in any Pokemon game. And there is some stuttering a little bit through this trailer. There are parts of this trailer where it really looks like frames are dropping, but I can't tell if it's just the trailer or the game. That would be a very Game Freak thing if they had frame rate troubles. But yeah, you don't get to hear or see a lot from Game Freak that's not just Pokemon. So it's really cool to see what that team wants to do that's not just with Nintendo behind them, cracking a whip to be hey, make us a new Pokemon game and do it in 1 year. Have it done. Because that's the only reason I can imagine Pokemon games don't look prettier than they are. Is because of just the time that Nintendo puts on them to make a game. Expectations for Pokemon games are crazy high and they get higher every game because there's constantly new Pokemon. So there's a lot more work that has to go into strictly just like modeling, every Pokemon, deciding which ones aren't in the game, and then modeling them all. And then when DLC comes out, you're remodeling them, or you're like remodeling more Pokemon. There's over 1,000 at this point now, so they are modeling and like rigging and animating potentially over 1,000 different Pokemon plus human characters, plus trying to tell some sort of story, and all of that is running now like real time in the world. So now they've got to figure out how to get like this like live world with these Pokemon walking around, spawning and walking around and doing stuff. Get them in the world, make it run well, make it look good. And like, I think, for the most part, a big constraint was kind of like Peter Molyneux. It was kind of like ambition. But Peter Molyneux's problem with his ambition is he's just like, his ideas are too out there. Whereas with Pokemon, it's like, the base is already so structured, but keeps growing. Like I said, every game there's more and more and more moves, more Pokemon. And like, not including people's favorite Pokemon is like a decision that has to be made. So like, you want to do less of that and include more of people's favorite Pokemon. And I guess like what I'm getting to with all this is like, for how big Pokemon is, it feels like it's this like losing battle of decisions and time to like try to put together a product that like is acceptable enough for Nintendo. Whereas with this game, Beast of Reincarnation, it's just them. I'm sure they took whatever time they wanted with this. It's their ideas, their world, their IP, they can do whatever they want as fast as they want. Tell whatever stories they want, because they're in full control of everything, and they probably get all that Pokemon money. It looks better. It looks graphically better than those games because they can take their time, and they don't have to worry about any possible constraints from the Switch or the Switch 2. It, I think the Switch 2 is a much better running or console at running games than the Switch is. We'll see what they do with the next Pokemon game. But I don't know, just having them be able to have complete freedom has to be why this game looks better, right? Like, I like to blame Nintendo for a lot of things, so I'm going to blame Nintendo on why Pokemon games look and run the way they do. And like, just like look at Game Freak. What the heck is this? They got another game coming out this year? I didn't even know this. Or are they publishing it? Because it's a developer's counterplay. What am I looking at here? What did I click? I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked Fictions. Game Freak. What? Is that their name? Game Freak Fictions? Why does it take me to the same thing? Publisher Fictions, Game Freak Fictions? What's going on here? Is Fictions just Game Freak? Hi, what is this? What is because Game Freak is making obviously Piece of Reincarnation. This is developed by Counterplay, but why does it keep popping up? Okay, Lego part, whatever. This their Steam page is broken. I'm just trying to see other Steam games that Game Freak has made, but it just keeps giving me the developer fictions. So, whatever. I just want to see like Game Freak list of games. Like, let's just see what else we've been able to get from them. Ah, yes. Tembo, the badass elephant. Everyone remembers this. Um, what is this? Publisher and platform. So, Beast of Reincarnation coming out, published by Fictions. Uh, in 2024, 2 years ago, on mobile, we had Pandoland, which doesn't even have a wiki page. See what Pandoland Discovery RPG. It's a casual adventure RPG. What else have they made? The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, which is just Pokemon DLC. Pocket Card Jockey, right on. This was the 3DS remake, right? They remade this from the 3DS game Pocket Jockey. Pokemon. 2019, Little Town Hero. I vaguely remember Little Town Hero. I thought it looked neat. And that's the thing. Like, I think when Game Freak makes games, Destructoid, wow, people did not like it though. Uh, when Game Freak makes games or has made games in the past, um, I maybe with the exception of that one, I feel like they're pretty like okay. Maybe I'm only thinking of Tembo though, because like Tembo was decent. Uh, from what I remember, right, critics were okay. Um, I will say, however, based on this list, where is it? Based on their list of games, Harmonite, very clearly, this looks to be the most ambitious game of Game Freak's like non-Pokemon resume. Uh I'm I'm hoping that like Xbox chose this game in their developer direct because it's legitimately like a good and exciting game and not just because it's Game Freak. Um like you already have in this developer direct, you have Fable. People are going to come watch this direct because it has Fable in it, right? Um I hope they didn't just throw the Game Freak game in here as like another talking point basically to get people to click in to be like, "Oh my god, Game Freak, the Pokemon guys, they're making a game on the Xbox." Um because they've made games before that have been on Xbox and whatnot. But uh yeah, the reaction to the original trailer for this was very much like, wow, how come they couldn't do this with Nintendo? Like, look at these graphics. And I just hope that didn't play into like like, hey, let's get more clicks just by including this game. Hopefully it's like good and interesting to like look at. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got, I think. Um, there are some other stuff on here that I didn't put on here. So that's fun. Um, but I don't want to talk too much about stuff that I didn't put on here. Because I think it's better said if, you know, someone else talks for themselves, you know, for their own topics, who's not here. But yeah, so you know what? That's it. What's it been? Been an hour. Let's hop into the game duel. Game duel time. Let's change the text to say Osho. Boop. And then let's go here. All right. This is too dark. This is someone's hand. It's so dark. This is Castlevania. Uh, Lords of Shadow 2. Nope. It is hack and slash beat 'em up and an adventure game. And it also was on PC. It's so dark. I can't tell what I'm looking at. I don't know if it's just my monitor. It's like the lighting, because like it do be bright out there, and like the blinds aren't doing enough. I can't even tell what I'm looking at all. Like this is a dude. Let's go Soma. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Is this um Shadow of Mordor? No, correct franchise though. Middle Earth Shadow of War. There it is. Shadow of War. Artwork. Enter a vivid and dynamic world. I feel like we've done Morrowind in the artwork before. Maybe it's like Champions of Norath? That's not in here. Okay. I'll just do, or I don't know. I'll do Morrowind. You know what? Yes, Morrowind. It's not Morrowind. All right. Is adventure RPG on PC? That looks so clear. Um. Oh man, I need K for this. What is this snake thing back here? Or Dinnermancer? They would know. Um. There's some games that are coming to my head that may or may not be it. The Drakengard, but I can't think of the names of them right now. Wait, it's not Lost Vikings. It's not Lost Vikings. There wasn't like another Lost Vikings game, right? No, no, no. Okay. I was like, did they make like some sort of like 3D Lost Vikings? Um, What am I looking at here? Enter a vivid and dynamic world. Man, this is K's department right here. This looks familiar, whatever is in the back here, but I can't tell you what it is. But yeah, one of the games I'm thinking of that I can't remember the name of, I'm pretty sure is getting a remake or like a sequel or something. This is, I just type in letters. Hell, oh kitty, Helltaker, Helltown, Heretic, maybe Heretic 2. Nope. Experience a groundbreaking 3D engine. Um, was there like another EverQuest game? I'm just gonna type in EverQuest. I don't know what this is. 3DO. New. Hmm. Hmm. Need to phone a friend. What's another game? What's another video game that I can guess? Just any video game. Oh my gosh. The text is like boop. Um hmm. New something. New World Order. Uh I'm not gonna know this game. It's too old of a PC game for me to know. I was too console pilled. Uh Not skip. Let's do like hmm. It's not Dwarf Fortress. Uh Anyone got any tips? Anyone in chat know? Snake Pass. Yep. Snake Pass. Um Not Hexen. Hexen's a Hexen. I don't know. Hexen 2, guess. Not Hexen. Brings to life the most fantastic, engrossing, and intense replaying experience ever. There's some like maybe horns on this guy. Some sort of demon, devil. Uh Devil daggers. Oh my god, it was such a Dinnermancer game. Might and Magic, of course. Such a Dinnermancer game. I needed Dinnermancer here. Darn. Character. It took me a while to figure out what I was looking at. Belly. Arm. Do a big hand with a finger pointing at them. What is this art style also? Uh the Pizza Tower guy. Pizza. Oh my god, what is his name? His name's ridiculous, I think. Uh his name's ridiculous. It's the Pizza Tower guy. I don't want to look it up. I think it's the guy from Pizza Tower. This is where I need Tyler now. And another phone a friend, Tyler. uh, or Jaden. They would both know, potentially. I need like an Italian name. That's not like Mario or Luigi. Uh, Effie. I don't know why Figaro came to mind. Fido. I'm just gonna hit skip. I still think it's the Pizza Tower guy. Skip. It's got to be the Pizza Tower guy. Search by game. Okay, one more. Boop. Pizza. Peppino. Peppino spaghetti. Of course. Ugh. Peppino. 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 Keywords. Drifting, cornering. Not not taco meter, right? That's a tachometer, like attachment, maybe tachometer. Car tuning. Um, if I just type in the word drift, what do I get? Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift, Hyperlight Drifter. Let's do that. Boop. Story mode, grip racing, time attack, arcade roots. Arcade roots, I'm thinking like Daytona. Manga origin. What does that say? Touge? Touge racing? Ghost battles, Japanese cars. Oh, Speed Racer. Arcade Roots, Spy Hunter, Speed Racer, Manga Origins. Manga. Manga. Made that manga origin. We got some sort of racing manga. Speed Racer is literally the only thing that comes to mind. Not Speed Runners, not Mickey's Speedway or Disney Speedstorm. I guess it's possible that it's not like a manga origin is not like a racing manga, but they just like put them in a racing scenario. And whatever that is, I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards. Arcade Roots. Is there like just something that I can type? Tokyo? I did Tokyo Extreme Racer, right? Yeah. Not Ghostwire Tokyo or Tokyo Jungle or Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Arcade Roots. Because it's not going to be like for what like Hydro Thunder comes to mind, but that's not grip racing. And it's not Daytona. It's what are other racing like arcade games? Why can't I think of them? Because like there's the San Francisco one, right? That's on PS3 in arcades and on PS3. Arcades and PS3. It's not like Gran Turismo, right? That's not because that's not like a arcade route. It's like a PlayStation route. Um, Because yeah, if I type in like driver San Francisco, it's not going to be it because it's Japanese cars. I guess you could have Japanese cars in there, whatever. Rival drivers, street racing, Eurobeat music, and mountain roads. Ghost battles, Japanese cars, Eurobeat music. Arcade roots and Eurobeat music goes together in my brain for some reason. Mountain roads, street racing, rival drivers. Street racing. Eurobeat music. A tachometer. Story mode. Oh no. I'm gonna do the Fast and the Furious. Guess. Licensed tracks, anime adaptation. Downhill battles. Manual transmission. What? Do I know this? Manga origin, anime adaptation. Like, that's obviously why there's a story mode. Because we have the anime and manga. Um God, are they still here at Golden Rose K? Anime slash manga racing? Question mark. I'm gonna say that in the chat. Maybe they'll see it. This also could potentially be a Domo answer. Like Domo might know. It's a racing game. Anime adaptation. We know Kay loves Eurobeat music, so they could probably know what this was. I'm gonna skip again. Let's just see. This shit doesn't mean anything to me. No Open City Racing. Okay, fine. AE86 Trueno? PS3 exclusive rear wheel drive. I don't know. PS3 exclusive. I'm just Gran Turismo 4. Guess. I don't know what this is. Initial D Extreme Stage. Would not have guessed this. In ever. I've never heard of this. What's the music? That Eurobeat. And a bunch of squealing tires. What am I looking at here? It's not a good trailer. Not a good trailer. All right, last thing. Guess. We're going straight to Fable. Guess. Nope. Is third person, has single player, newer than 2004. Either on an Xbox console or PC. Not an RPG or adventure or fantasy. Not historical. Not a sandbox game. Action? It is an action game. Third person, action. What about like an action sports? What about like Uh, like Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 5. I don't know. It's just action, and it is either a sports game or an arcade game. What's another like action sports? Like a snowboard game. Like the things that come to mind. Skate third person? I guess it was just like a really low, weird angle. Um, what are other themes? 2K19. I'm just gonna type. No, it's not 2K19. It has to be before 2015. So we're gonna go 2K12. Is basketball is basketball action? PGA, Topspin, WWE action? No, too late in the year. Uh we're going NBA 2K11. Yes. It is sports. Single player, multiplayer, and split screen. What does this mean? Wait, I just realized this. 2004 was yellow. What does it mean when it's yellow? And so was 2010, but this was 2015. These are both wrong. If the target game release year is within 5 years, it will be shown in yellow. Ah, okay. That's a new thing. All right, so it is not nonfiction. So it is fictional. Action, sports. It has third person and more. It's not just third person, but it does have split screen, multiplayer, and single player. Could it be a racing game? Some sort of action racing? Like, could it be like a Need for Speed? I don't know when any of these came out. Like, when did Hot Pursuit come out? Darn it. It is also racing. But Need for Speed is not sports. So we need Wipeout Pure for the PSP. Could be racing and sport. Racing? Wait, for the PSP. PSP ain't gonna have split screen. That's the worst split screen. Split screen on a handheld. Hmm. First person, third person. Sports racing. So does that mean it's going to be like a NASCAR potentially, or like an ATV racing game or something? I did a Need for Speed. And it was wrong franchise. I fell back to sleep, but I'm back. F1 is another good one. Hold on, let's see. F1. No, it's not F1. Unless it's F1 Race Stars. Forza. Could also be a Forza. Could it just be like the first Forza? Downhill Domination. Isn't that newer? It's got to be between 2000. What is it? 2005 to 2009. Forza's, I think, a good one. No, it's not, because it's not Microsoft. It's not Xbox, so it's not Forza. It's not Forza. It was a PS2 biking game. Was it also on the 360, Xbox, or PC? I don't think it's Forza. Dirt. ATV games. Um, like what if I type in ATV? What do I even get? Not TV. ATV. Nothing. I might go with Forza right now. No, I can't. I can't. That's right. Because it's not Xbox. It's not a Microsoft game. Um, could it be Gran Turismo? I don't know if Gran Turismo's action. Unless just like any sports or racing game is action. It's not Criterion Games, so I don't think it's a Burnout, right? Burnout is Criterion? Or was Criterion what the Burnout devs turned into after they got bought by like the Need for Speed people? Driver. I'll go Driver. Driver. This one with with the 3 as the E. Yes. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, that had shooting in it. No shooting. It was shooting, not sports. I'm getting a clue. I'm gonna get a clue. Show the clue. Damn it. 2006. Okay. To me, this sounds like it sounds like Forza, but it can't be. It's racing and sports. Is there like a SSX game or 1080 snowboarding? SSX. Again, my time frame for when any of this stuff came out is warped. Like I feel like SSX3 was way before 2004, but maybe not. Same with Tricky. Like 2006, I was in high school. These don't sound like high school games to me, but maybe they were. 1080 definitely sounds older. Oh, they don't even have it. Let's go SSX Tricky. Guess. Yeah, damn it. That was so old. Outrun? Hmm. We got Outrun and Outrun 2. Are those sports, though? And racing. It doesn't say SSX Tricky is racing. I'm pretty sure you race in that game. 2006 action racing game. Now that I think about it, the fact that it's first person and third person makes me think it's in a car. I was trying to think of stuff like not in a car, like action sports, like dirt bikes. I guess it could still be like some sort of like off-roading ATV thing, but it seems like cars. The movie, the game. What about Dirt? Dirt Rally, Dirt 3, Dirt 3. Yes. Damn it. Hey, I got sports and racing in the same thing, and it's still more. It's still more. It could be arcade. Dirt 3 is not an action game, it is strictly nonfiction. Cars the movie, the game is also nonfiction, so it couldn't be that. I got two guesses left on this. Flat Out 2. Uh, Wait, it is nonfiction. No, the game Cars the movie, the game is nonfiction. Yeah, obviously. Hmm. Racing series. All right, there's like Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, Dirt, Burnout, um, Wreckfest, Wrecking Crew, uh, one of the MX games. Do you think the MX games would be first person also though? Like potentially, I could see it, but I don't know. When you say MX, what am I thinking of right now? Uh, MotoGP. I'll do it. MotoGP. Which one? Motor Tune Grand Prix. How about that one? That's what you meant, right? Motor Storm. The Crew. Motorfest. Uh, Motorstorm is calling me for some reason because I don't know what MotoGP I would even choose here. You got to give me one. MX versus ATV. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not in here. I've looked up ATV and it did not pop up. I'm doing Motorstorm. Guess. Damn it. I got the right year though. Proud of myself. Not on PS3. So it was on PC or Xbox 360. I'm assuming. Yeah, both. So now that's crazy. Like a racing sports game, not on a PlayStation console, or well, not on PS3. Could have been on Xbox 360 or Windows or the Xbox or PS2 or GameCube. In 2006? No way. It was on one of those consoles, right? Why would it be on Xbox in 2006 and not Xbox 360 or the Wii? And like if it was on PS2, why didn't it come to PS3? It's like, is it like a cross generation game? In 2006 is crazy. When did the 360 come out? Hmm. And then also Windows. Like it seems like it could be a Windows thing, potentially. This is it. This is the last guess, and I am so out on it. Sports racing. Dave Mira. Nope. Pocket bike racer. Pocket bike. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. What if I just put in race? Race driver grid. F1 Race Stars, Wave Race, Mod Nation Racers. No. Ridge Racer. No. Ridge Racers is a PlayStation thing. Mod Nation Racers is a PlayStation thing. Episode 1 Racer, Tokyo Extreme Racer. Grid? Is it Grid? I don't remember this game being called Race Driver Grid. I only remember it being called Grid. And like, this is my front runner right now. Because I don't know what else to do. Cars. Project Cars. Moons Cars. How many cars does the Moons have? Does the Moon have? Would the Cars game not come to the PlayStation? I feel like the Cars game would absolutely go to the PlayStation. I feel like everything would go to PlayStation, except for Forza. But it can't be Forza, because it's not Xbox Microsoft Game Studios. I'm gonna go Cars, because I'm not gonna guess this. Okay? Is that okay with everyone? I'm going Cars. Just strictly Cars. Because is Cars gonna be third or first person? I'm going Grid. Oh wait, that is Grid. Wait, there is Grid, and also Race Driver Grid. Oh my god. Why would we do this? Grid Autosport. It says sport in it. Wow. Uh, uh. Flat out too. I wish somebody said that in chat. Wish somebody would have said that out loud, but yep. PS2 and PSP. Xbox 360 and Xbox, not the PS3. Wow. Wow. Ugh. Take a look at this garbage. Wow. Actually, silencing the voices from the Philippines. From the Philippines, not of the Philippines, though. From the Philippines. Stone skipping. Well, that's that. I'm gonna go swim now that the sun is out. All right, have fun swimming. I'm gonna go clean the kitchen now that the fridge is out. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm out of here. I'm done. Freaking over. Better go catch it. Oh, you're right. You're so right. All right, goodbye.